Hello.
And to you, good day.
I really have a really quick question, and I work with some technologies,
Yes.
sound and Scalar, and
Yes.
I just wanted your perspective
Of what?
of how it works and how it affects people.
Everything is vibration. Everything is resonance. When you understand the specific frequency that is represented by every single thing, then you can understand how to create other frequencies in relationship to it that create certain effects. That's all it's all about in that sense. That's all that's going on in your consciousness. Different frequencies interacting in certain ways to create different harmonics that create different experiences. Experiences are the result of harmonics of different frequencies that are representative of different concepts within your higher mind consciousness.
Okay. And how
Does that help?
Yeah, maybe more specific with this technology that I work with. How does it help my clients?
If you set up a certain kind of frequency that is representative of a certain kind of state of being, and they're willing to be immersed in it, it can help to guide their energy back to that state. They can learn to entrain with it, in a sense. They can learn to resonate with it, to identify with it. And if it is representative of the state of being that represents more of themselves, more of their true selves, then by identifying with it and allowing their energy to match that frequency, they will also allow themselves to use that as a permission slip to give themselves permission to become more of themselves. This is how all healing works. The healer, in a sense, doesn't do anything directly. They set up an atmosphere, an environment, an energy, a frequency, a state of being, that if the person seeking the healing decides to choose to match it, they will then, in a sense, simply take themselves to a state of health represented by that vibrational frequency. Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Mine's a historical question.
A hysterical question.
Yeah, I'm curious. Was there an actual Jesus Christ, a living Christ?
There is, not was.
So it's when you talk about the Christ consciousness, it's a continuous thing where the
There is, again, the idea to understand in this way. What you call your linear timeline framework, I'll speak in this sense in terms of your time frame linearity. Yes, there was an actual individual named Yeshua who reflected and represented the idea of an expression of what we have termed, using your terminology, the Christ consciousness, which is simply the idea of the collective consciousness of your world. Same thing as Buddha nature, Krishna spirit. You understand? All the same thing can be expressed through individuals by being more and more themselves. But that energy still exists in a variety of ways, and at the same time understand it this way. Anything you can imagine is in some way, shape, or form a reality, because you cannot imagine non-existence. So if you say, was such and such real? Is such and such real? Is this real? Is that real? If you were capable of conceiving it, on some level it's real. It may not have the relevance to your reality expression. It may not be the same kind of reality, but it's real. Because you couldn't imagine it if it wasn't, because you can't imagine non-existence. So anything that actually is truly non-existent, you will never be capable of conceiving of it. Ever.
Well, then was the story manipulated?
In some ways, yes. But again, it depends on which parallel reality you're talking about, because that being exists in a multitude of parallel realities. Which parallel reality are you in right now, and which story belongs to that parallel reality?
Mm-hmm.
Because these things change in a variety of ways depending on how you change.
Right.
So, again, in the way that you mean it, in your space-time linearity, yes, there are individuals who took it upon themselves intentionally to manipulate certain aspects of the story that existed in their particular reality at the time for certain reasons and purposes. Yes?
Thank you.
Does that answer your question sufficiently?
Yes.
Anything else you wish to explore?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
Good to be here again.
Thank you for being there again.
I go to a spiritual school.
Oh, all right. You all do, actually.
Oh. Well, one of the things we've been talking about is, for this year at least, is Comet Elenin.
Common element.
Comet Elenin.
Ah, comet. Yes, all right. Yes.
And there's some concern that a lot of the alignments that happened in the past were the same day of major earthquakes.
Yes.
So there's some concern that, say in September, October.
Are you one of the ones who is concerned?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
What reality will you choose to be in?
the one that is most exciting, I guess.
Does that reality contain the same concern? Does the reality of your highest joy contain the same concern? By definition, yes or no?
I guess no.
You guess?
No.
By definition, it wouldn't, would it? Would the highest reality you can imagine contain a vibration of concern and fear?
Not fear, concern.
Okay, a small fear.
All right. Just, like,
What are you really asking? Is it going to fall on your head? Are you going to be in a disaster? Are you going to die in an earthquake? What are you actually asking? What are you concerned about?
I don't think it's, okay, I want knowledge on and or information on
a reality you say you don't prefer. Why?
because I do prefer it.
You prefer the reality where it is going to create those kinds of experiences?
No,
That's what I said.
I'm saying that what is exciting to me about
Yes.
these big events that some people predict
Yes.
is exciting to me. Not, people dying and stuff like that, but
Oh, all right.
but big changes that totally change everything. That excites me.
But everything totally changes everything.
That's true.
Thank you. That must mean you're excited all the time.
Yeah. But
Well, there
I'm
you
just-
go.
I'm just saying.
I know you're
It's-
just saying.
it's exciting, even those things.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you already addressed Nibiru. I was disappointed
Why were you disappointed?
because I was looking forward to a big planet showing up.
Why?
It would have been fun.
All right. Well, you can shift to a reality where a big planet shows up.
Okay.
If that is relevant to the life path you have chosen. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll see. But you can do it. If that's truly, truly, truly representative of your path of highest excitement, you will shift to a planet where a big planet shows up. Simple as that. You don't have to wonder about it. You don't have to worry about it. Whatever appointments any of you have made, you will not miss. The only way to miss an appointment is to spend time worrying you'll miss the appointment. But if you just get on with your life, acting on your highest joy, then any appointments you have made and any experiences you have decided to have, you will have. They will play out. You will shift to whatever reality is germane and representative of those experiences by just being yourself every moment that you can. It will automatically, synchronistically place you exactly when and where you need to be to give you the representation and the reflection of what it is that gives you the greatest joy. When you are at what you might euphemistically call the end of your life, you can simply look back and see, well, that's what I attracted myself to. That was the life path I chose. Therefore, it was perfect as it was. You follow?
Well, I mean, I don't want to do that. I don't want to look back ever.
Well, at some point you will, in a sense.
Okay. No.
I don't mean it in the negative context. I don't mean you won't be present.
Right.
I am simply saying that at some point in your experience of yourself, you will become bigger, in a sense, than this experience. You will contain this experience. And in containing this physical experience, you'll be able to, in a sense, notice. You'll be able to observe how it served you and everything that happened, how it all fit together and provided a reason for you to have that experience. That's what we're saying.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe?
I don't know.
All right. Good enough.
I guess I'll let the next person ask because
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I have a question.
That's all right. You don't have to have a question. Nevertheless, now that we've had this conversation, I will simply put it to you this way. There are going to be physiological changes on your planet, whether they're connected to the idea of cometary approach or not. The idea is that many of these things do function as symbols or reflections of changes going on within the collective consciousness. And in some senses, that's why they show up. The changes are not being created or caused by the idea of the comet. The changes are simply being reflected by the comet that are going on within your consciousness, as many of you believe you need to experience them. Not that you have to. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Anything that happens out there is just a reflection of what's already happening in here. It's not causing it, it's reflecting it. It's acting as a symbol of what's going on. So if you don't prefer it, if you recognize the symbol and what meaning you've given it, if you don't prefer it, you can learn from that symbol, recognize you don't necessarily need to put the same meaning into it, change yourself, and then have a different experience and allow that symbol to be representative of something else, a different kind of experience. Does that help?
Well, I mean, I just want to hug you. But you're not here, so.
All right.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I feel like I have this karma dharma thing going that I'm creating.
Karma Dharma.
I feel like my greatest excitement is
Yes.
also my greatest fears.
Many times it is.
So my biggest joy would be to go with my greatest excitement and allow the fear to dissolve.
You transform the fear into your excitement. Understand what fear is. You only have one energy. You're 100% that energy. You experience that energy as excitement when you filter that energy through belief systems that are in alignment with your true vibration. You experience the very same energy as fear when you flow it through belief systems that are out of alignment with your true self. That's what fear tells you, is you have a belief that's out of alignment with your true self. That's why you're feeling your energy in the form called fear. It's a messenger that brings your attention to the fact that you have that belief system that you don't prefer. So it gets you to understand that and gives you the impetus to find out what that belief is so that you can let it go, replace it with a new belief that is in alignment with your truth, and transform the same energy that you're feeling as fear into the energy you now feel as excitement. That's how it physically works. That's the mechanism. Does that make sense?
It does.
So what's the fear? What's the belief?
There's a lot of them.
Well, start with one.
Well, this is very scary for me to like talk in front of people.
All right. Oh boy. Yes.
But it's also my highest excitement, and so I'm doing it.
Well,
but
remember,
I'm also feeling
the thing that actually is your highest excitement is not actually the thing that scares you. The belief about the excitement is what's generating the fear. It's not the excitement itself. It's not the thing itself. It's the belief about the thing. You understand?
Uh-huh.
So, what is the belief? What is the thing you are afraid will most happen? Most afraid. One way to discover what your belief is to amplify it. What's the worst possible thing I believe might happen if I move in the direction of my highest joy? When you amplify it like that, the beliefs usually become very clear. What is the worst possible thing you imagine, you believe might happen when you move in the direction of your highest joy? Name one.
One of the
Worst possible things you're afraid might occur.
that I am humiliated and I look like an idiot and fall on my face.
How exciting! Do you need to learn the secret mantra?
Yes.
So what?
And
Who
I've done it
cares?
so many times
Who
that
cares what other people think? Why do you care so much about what others think if you know this is true for you? What does their opinion have to do other than functioning as advice that you can double check yourself against? You can always accept the advice as a way to make sure that you're balanced and on track, and then thank them for that. But beyond that, their opinion has no bearing on what you decide is true for you. So why do you give it so much credence over your own understanding of what's true for you?
I don't know.
And what is humiliation anyway? What's so embarrassing about finding that something doesn't work? Many of your scientists are overjoyed when they experiment with things and something doesn't work. Then they know that's a path they've eliminated. The path that now remains is clearer. Many times, most of you, in fact, will discover what you do prefer by discovering clearly what you don't. It makes it a black and white situation. So why not rejoice in discovering what you don't prefer, because it is now clarified what you do? When something doesn't seem to work, quote unquote, it has worked to show you more clearly what does. That's a cause for celebration, not humiliation. Unless, of course, you enjoy the sensation of humiliation. I wouldn't want to take that away from you if that's what you enjoy.
I'm somehow preferring it because I get it a lot.
Yes, but you're preferring it because of how you're defining the idea of what it is that's happening. You think that because you're not, in a sense, succeeding in a certain way because of how you've defined success, that if you don't create that and put all these conditions on it and don't achieve all these conditions, that somehow you're a failure, that it reflects badly on you as a being. And it doesn't. You only have bought into the idea that it does. Remember, we have said, if at first you don't succeed, redefine success. You understand?
Yes.
If one type of the definition of success doesn't work for you, create your own definition of what success is. Success, really, as you say in your language, bottom line, is really just being yourself. That's a success. Doesn't matter in that sense how you go about it. Sometimes being yourself means you might fall flat on your face. So pick yourself up. But you've learned something. Yes?
Yes.
Isn't that cause for joy? Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Well, can you redefine these experiences in a way that's more aligned with the way you prefer these definitions to be? Or do you want to continue to stick with the old definitions that create the sensations that you say you don't prefer? Which?
I want to say I'll try, but there's...
Well, all right. You can do that, but then all you'll be doing is having the experience of trying. If you enjoy the experience of trying as opposed to the experience of doing, that's your choice. But I don't think that's what you actually prefer.
No.
Well, since you know that, why not just do? Why not just be who you are? Why not? Why not? Really, why not?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It goes back to I'm scared.
Of what? Again, describe in more precise detail what you are scared of. When you say humiliation, describe a scenario.
Maybe it's the unknown.
Maybe?
It's the unknown.
So you're saying you don't know if it's the unknown? It's unknown that it's the unknown? If it's unknown that it's the unknown, you're already experiencing the unknown. You don't sound scared. So you've already experienced the unknown. So we can scratch that off your list. You're not afraid of the unknown because you already showed me that you are not knowing about the unknown. You're okay with not knowing about the unknown because you say you don't know. So that's all right. That's the unknown. You're not afraid of the unknown. So what else? What else are you afraid of, or what else do you think you're afraid of that maybe you're not actually afraid of at all?
Maybe getting what I really am excited about.
And if you get it, what do you think will happen? What do you believe might happen if you get what you want, get what you prefer? That you'll lose it?
Yes. Yeah. I've gotten something that I wanted, and now I live in fear more that I have it because I fear that I'm going to lose it.
All right.
and I was better. I got a sum of money, and
Yes.
before I didn't have money, I was like, yay, and I trusted myself. And now
Yes.
getting the sum of money, I always think I'm going to lose the money.
Well, why not continue to trust yourself and not make your happiness conditional on the circumstance? Whether the money stays or goes, can you not recognize that if it does stay or if it does go, it will be representative of something that will actually clear the way for more happiness? And it's not a failure, it's not a loss. It's just another step on the path to greater happiness, no matter what form it takes. If you treat it that way, you will experience it that way. If you define it as a loss, what do you think you're going to experience it as?
A loss.
Thank you. But if that's not how you prefer to experience the change that may occur, then why not give it a definition that works for you? If this money moves out of my life, that's only going to clear the way for something even greater that I can't possibly imagine, but I know it's just going to be so much fun.
I'd like to think that.
Why don't you believe that that's just as real as any other belief that you believe in? That's the question. Why does that seem too good to be true? Nothing is too good to be true. That's just a belief. Now, if you've been supported by the universe in your ability to believe that something in that sense is too good to be true, then why wouldn't you be supported in any other belief? All beliefs are equal in the eyes of the universe. It supported you in this belief, that belief, all the way through your life. You've changed your beliefs here and there. The universe has supported you in every single belief that you've bought into. So why wouldn't it continue to support you in any other belief you choose to buy into? The mechanism always works. It never fails. If it did, again, everything wouldn't exist. So as long as you exist, which of course you always will, because that's the first law, existence knows no other state but existence. Existence doesn't become non-existence. Non-existence is already full of all the things that will never exist. There's no more room in non-existence for the things that exist. They cannot become non-existent. So if you exist, you always will. You exist now, there is only now. So you will always exist now. So if any belief you've ever had has always been supported, and you know that any belief you choose to have will also be supported. Otherwise, if it wasn't supported, the universe wouldn't exist. Reality wouldn't exist. Experience wouldn't exist at all. Is this making any sense?
Yes.
Is it making enough sense for you to actually allow yourself to believe it works for you?
I wanted to.
Why don't you know that it does based on what we just said? Do you exist?
Yes.
Then how can it not be working for you? It's a simple mechanism. It's not complicated or mysterious at all.
It's just changing the belief.
Yes,
I can do that.
I know you can. You've done it many times. And it's always been supported. Negative and positive has always been supported. Yes?
Yes.
Well, why should the next belief be different? Because even if you believe the next belief will be different, that's just a belief too, and that will be supported too. You can believe the next belief will be different, but that doesn't mean it actually is. Just because you might believe that another belief won't be supported doesn't mean it actually won't be supported. But you can have the experience that it won't be, because your belief that it won't be supported is being supported. So if that one's being supported, why wouldn't all the other ones be supported? Every belief is being supported. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes. Very much so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.